Praise the Lord, everyone. Welcome to the Bible Factory. I hope you enjoyed the last video of Bible Factory in which we have discussed about the missionary Samuel Morris. If you didn't watch it, the link is given below. Go check it out. So in today's video, we are going to know about Mary Slessor, who was a very great missionary. So without wasting time, let's get started. Mary Slessor was born on 2nd December 1848 in Gilcomston, Scotland, to a poor working class family who could not afford proper education. She was the second of 7 children of Robert and Mary Slessor. Her father, originally from Buchan, was a shoemaker by trade. In 1859, the family moved to Dundee in search of work. Robert Slessor was an alcoholic and unable to keep up shoemaking, took a job as a laborer in Will. Her mother was a skilled weaver and went to work in the mills. At the age of 11, Mary began work as a half-timer in Baxter Brothers Mill, meaning she spent half of her day at school provided by the mill owners and the other half working for the company. Her mother was a devout of Presbyterian who read each issue of the missionary record. Slessor developed an interest in religion and she wanted to teach. Slessor was 27 when she heard about David Livingstone, the famous missionary and explorer, and decided she wanted to follow his footsteps. Eventually, Slessor applied to the United Presbyterian Church Foreign Mission Board after training in Edinburgh. She set sail in the SS Ethiopia on 5th August 1876 and arrived at her destination in West Africa just over a month later. Slessor was first assigned to the Calabar region in the land of Efik people. She was warned that they believed in traditional West African religion and had superstitions in relation to women giving birth to twins. After only 3 more years, Slessor returned to Scotland on yet another health furlough. During the next 3 years, Slessor looked after her mother and sister and spoke at many churches and sharing stories from the Calabar area. Once this was over, Slessor returned to area further away from the central Calabar, from the areas which had already eliminated the more heathen practices. She saved hundreds of twins out of the bush, where they had been left either to starve to death or beaten by animals. She helped heal the sick and stop the practice of determining guilt by making the suspects drink poison. As a missionary, she went to the tribes, spreading the word of Jesus Christ. In August 1888, Slessor travelled north to Okoyong, an area where mere missionaries had been killed. She thought her teachings and fact she was a woman would be less threatening to unreached tribes. For 15 years, Slessor lived with the Okoyong and the Efik people. She learned to speak the native Efik language and made close personal friendships wherever she went. Becoming known for pragmatism and humor, Slessor lived a simple life in a traditional house with Efiks. Her insistence on lone stations often led her into conflict with the authorities and gained her reputation for eccentricity. However, her exploits were heralded in Britain and she became known as the White Queen of Okoyong. Slessor continued her focus on evangelism, settling disputes, encouraging trade, establishing social changes, and introducing Western education. It was a belief in that area that the birth of twins was considered a particularly evil curse. Natives feared that the father of one of the infants was a devil child, and that mother had a guilty of a great sin. Unable to determine which twin was fathered by the evil spirit, the natives often abandoned both the babies in the clay pots to die. In most of the Calabar, the practice had been eliminated by missionaries. Slessor left the area of Calabar and moved further into Okoyong. She adopted every child she found abundant and sent out twin missionaries to find and protect and care for them at Mission House. Slessor suffered intermittent fevers from the malaria she contracted during her first station to Calabar. However, she downplayed the personal cost and never gave up her mission work to return permanently to Scotland. The fevers eventually weakened Slessor to the point she could no longer walk distances in the rainforest, but had to be pushed along in a handcart. In early 1915, while at her remote station, she suffered a particularly severe fever. Slessor died on 13 January 1915. What a marvelous testimony of Mary Slessor! In spite of her poverty, raised the standard of learning the language and sharing the gospel and breaking the superstitions and overcoming disabilities. I hope my friends never lose hope but strive till the end in reaching the goals for Christ. I hope you like this video. If you like, please subscribe our channel, like the video and share with your friends and family members. And don't forget to comment down below. Thanks for watching.